I realize that some of you guys are unfamiliar with how to use a rubric to do your assignments. So I'm going to quickly review the use of a rubric. And a rubric is such a strange word, R-U-B-R-I-C, okay? And this, you should know that a rubric is what teachers use to score written work. And actually, teachers who use rubrics are doing it for your benefit so that you know exactly what kinds of things they're looking for. It also allows you to not get so many marks taken off for certain things, because I put a limit to the number of marks I take off for certain things. So just for example, I'm going to use the written response rubric, which is the rubric that I used for assignment number 2 that you guys would have had to on Monday. Okay, so when I'm looking at your rubric, I'm looking to see 4s, okay? And when you're doing your answers, you should aim for 4s. That's the highest mark you can get. So completion of the assignment. Did you do the whole assignment is what I'm looking for here, okay? And in order to do it completely, you have to answer the question fully, including restating part of the question, okay? So one of the, I have a paper right in front of me, I'm going to read it, and it says, the proper way to conduct a scientific experiment is to first come up with a testable question. Okay, so that's a great start. So that person has restated part of the question. And then in multi-step questions, which is the one that we just finished, there's a lot of steps involved where you had to do a lot of explaining and provide examples. It says all parts are answered completely. So that's what you need to make sure, that you're reading the assignment correctly and putting all of the things that you need. And then, so if they're missing one detail or portion, then I'll give you a 3. If you have more than one detail or portion missing, I'll give you a 2. And if your reply or response is really not very well done, you'll get a 1. Vocabulary, if I ask you to use certain vocabulary, I expect to see every single vocabulary used. Now, that doesn't mean you just smatter the words throughout the assignment. What I asked is for you to show understanding of the words, okay? So it says, student made use of all vocabulary terms in a relevant and appropriate manner. That means you were able to show understanding of the words. And here it is, it made use of all words but did not communicate in a relevant. That means you missed a few explanations or examples. Maybe you missed a few vocabulary words, but you used them appropriately, you would get a 2. And vocabulary words were not all used, or they were not effectively communicated. So that's where that would be the lowest score. Mechanics, that's grammar and spelling. Okay, check your grammar and spelling. We have things called spell check now, and most of you typed your responses, so I shouldn't see any spelling errors. And check your grammar. Have somebody check it for you, and you should know how to edit writing for grammar, okay? So if you have more than 4, because 4 is a lot for 10th graders. So if you have more than 4, you only get a 1, so be careful and watch those errors. The content. Did you do what you were expected to do by providing examples, okay? And in the assignment that we had, you had to use examples from an experiment. Some of you guys used the muscle experiment that we did. That was great. And so you need to show excellent knowledge in order to get a 4. And then it goes down from there. Same with references, resources, source of information. If you referred to an experiment or referred to something, then I would have given you credit for that. And every single one of your words needed to have a reference to something. And I give 4 points to people who actually came up with unique ideas and properly referenced the information. So if you said that the amount of phosphate in the muscles was the dependent variable, you would not have gotten the 4 points, because the phosphate was the independent variable. And the last one is originality. If you came up with some neat stuff, there were some kids who came up with some great experiments to use as examples, and so those students would have gotten in the 3 and 4. Okay, so that's a little review on how to use a rubric. You should use the rubric to as you're working on the assignment to make sure that you're going to get the highest number of points.